the stars to save the universe from constant dystopian future visions. Terry searches for his moment as Brandon continues to speak without pausing, even for breath. Lore, guests, chats, and sometimes even staying on topic. Wildcast Live! Wild Space Wildcast Go! Across hyperspace rivers we ride tonight, through worlds of steel and neon light, exploring stories far and wide, with chaos always by our side. Wild Space Saga on YouTube, Wild Space Saga Live. Pirates, tanks, strange worlds collide. Wild Space Saga Live. Brandon's still talking somewhere out there. Terry's trying to get a word in. Wild Space Saga Live. Wild Space Wildcast Go!
Greetings, YouTube. This is Brandon Hill here with Terrence Pegasus. Together, we are the creators of Wild Space Saga, the epic sci-fi action adventure series you didn't know you needed. And this is the Wild Space Wildcast, made specifically to tell you exactly why you need it. and since we've been around for a hot minute in relative silence on DeviantArt, what you've been missing. But before we begin, take a moment to subscribe and hit that beautiful notification bell, so that you won't miss a single bit of news, events, live streams from our channel. And whether you catch us live or watching after the fact, we want you to join us on the Northwest Passage. And finally, if we piqued your interest, links to our books available on paperback and ebook, as well as everywhere else. You can find us on the social medias, are available down in the doobly-doo. A little frog in my throat always gets me right in the middle of my stuff. And of course, guys, just to remind you, our newest book, Twisted Fate, is out. And we'd like to see you go ahead and get in there. If you do get it, hey, please leave us a review, even if you didn't like it. We do appreciate feedback.
One day, Brandon will be able to do all that without looking down.
Yeah, I really need to have this thing, like, have a little piece of Velcro or something on the side of my computer. So I can do that, because I put it up front, but I had forgotten, like, oh crap, forgot to put the thing on the computer, but I didn't want to look like I was putting a paper out there when I was doing that. And let me see. Oh yeah, so I didn't even know, and I really need to start acknowledging that your little taglines there, the Terry ouch the sun got me thing.
I was out today, like I said, I was saying to Brandon before the stream started. Every year we have a local thing. It's called Operation Market Harbour, and it's basically like celebrates military history. It's got a bit bigger over the years, so they've got tanks from World War II all the way up to modern times. You name it. There's German ones, there's Russian ones, there's mostly British, obviously, because we're in Britain. And so me and my friends thought we'd go out to it today, and then we all got there and went, oh, we forgot the sun cream. Well, we're committed now. Guess we better go enjoy ourselves and accept the consequences is looking like a bleeding lobster.
Wait, you actually need sunscreen in the UK?
Funny enough, yes.
Hello, Finn. Welcome once again. All right.
Yes. UV cares not for cloud cover, Brandon.
I remember I've been to the UK before. It was really odd. We were in London and we were in Windsor for 3 days. And yeah, it was really cloudy those days. I think it rained once. And we had to wear jackets, and this was like in the middle of July. So yeah.
This year where Europe's been on fire, we've actually been hot. So, that's the difference. Is, it has to be, everywhere else is literally on fire. Britain's got a warm day.
Well, yeah, I know y'all were talking about how hot it was these past few those past few weeks and all. It's still, well, today it's actually cloudy. This is the first time in ages I stepped out of my room, which I have an air conditioner unit in now, and it not into a wall of blistering heat. So I was just like, wow. I was like, this is different. Anything different is good. And and then I looked outside and I was like, oh, it's cloudy. That's why. Because the last, God.
Do you know what? Finn's just made me realise that you've got a Cornholio shirt on.
Yeah, it is. I need coffee. What am I looking for? Yeah. Yeah. The first time
Yeah.
the first time I wore that, and I went to Starbucks, and they actually let me have a free coffee for that one. The guy, the barista was there. He was so tickled about that. He freaking loved it. So that was actually kind of fun. Let me see. Brandon's shirt reminds me of the Flogging Molly logo. Okay, I know about Flogging Molly. I've never really. I had friends that were huge fans of them, but I never really got.
I've heard literally one song of theirs, and that's because it was on Stargate Universe.
It's been ages since I've heard a Flogging Molly song, so I wouldn't know what it was even if you told me. And so only because I had some friends that were crazy fans of Flogging Molly, and they played a couple of their songs, but were kind of shocked that I just didn't really get into them myself.
They always sounded to me like this sounds like a cheap version of the Pogues.
I don't even remember really what they sound like. I'm kind of getting confused in my head. It was some other groups they played for me, and one that sounded like they were like almost like Irish Celtic, and so. But I don't think
they have an Irish sound. Yeah, I'm assuming they may even be an Irish band for all I know.
Okay.
But the sort of the Pogues are the ones who really sort of made it famous with that sort of style, and it just reminded me of them with a slightly more polished twist.
Was there a song by them that sounded like some sort of like medieval tavern music? Because I don't know. I guess I have to go ahead and look them up again. It's been a very long time.
The one on Saga Universe is called "The Worst Day Since Yesterday," the Flogging Molly song.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Around for quite some time,
since yesterday. Yeah.
Nah, yeah, it's just been a really long time since I've heard anything by that group. Though I mean, I guess maybe it's just because that when y'all talked about Flogging Molly, it brought back. I was just listening to this song yesterday that one of my friends had played for me a while back, and it was like sounded like medieval bar music. It was called Three Kobolds in a Trench Coat, but I don't think that was them.
Well, me describing Flogging Molly as a cheap version of the Pogues is a bit insulting.
I don't know. To me, just Flogging Molly sounds like a euphemism for a particular action, which I will not repeat. But yeah.
Well, to be fair, the Pogues are on the nose. Their album for Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash is pretty clear. I know it's a good album actually. I quite enjoy it.
Oh, Celtic punk. I don't know. Never really heard of Celtic punk. The only.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was Celtic punk. It was more that was very much sort of Irish punk at the time, anyway. Because it was very Irish traditional with that sort of British punk hit to it as well, with the raw edge with the guitars and that. And there's a lot of traditional, especially on the album I said. There's a lot of traditional sort of Irish music on there as well, as well as their sort of punk twist. It would be an album that's worth a listen to. It may not even be your thing, but to say I never thought they would be to me as well, because some of their other songs I don't really enjoy. But that particular album I actually quite enjoyed.
Well, the only Celtic music that I really got into is more traditional Celtic, and there's a particular group that stands out from anything else I've listened to. They're called Cherish the Ladies. There's a festival down here in Louisiana every year, and they have it like at the end of April. And it's called the Festival International de Louisiane, the International Festival of Louisiana. And they bring in music bands from all over the world. And years ago, I went to the festival and I ran into a performance by a Celtic group called Cherish the Ladies. And so I bought one of their albums and I fell in love. And because I already had like my my best friend, she was a huge fan of Celtic music, and that she kind of got me turned on to that, and so I really loved the way they sounded. And that's pretty much me. For me, it was more traditional Celtic music that I really liked, rather than variants like metal and whatnot. That's how I do. But like I said, but I'm always open to something.
A lot of what the Pogues are famous for is good old Shane MacGowan and his lack of teeth.
Lack of teeth?
Oh yeah, the guy who'd basically been in so many fights and had so many teeth knocked out. He was missing half a dozen of them.
I just realized I can't hear any music at all.
It is playing. You have got it very quiet. I know I requested a bit quieter than usual because I've been listening to really loud tanks all day, rolling around in a field, and it's really, left my ears aching. But
now, is that too loud for you?
I would just down a touch, just because it's in my headphones and I can't hear you if you've got it too much.
There we go.
Yeah,
I had it really low. I was like, I couldn't even hear it on my end.
I only hear it through my headphones, which means it was very quiet. But yeah, it's a good level now.
All right. And what you're hearing today is a song about the androids.
It's the one I recently published, New Life.
Yeah, Terry's been busy doing what's called Faction Focus, where he's been making music that focuses on the different factions in Wild Space Saga. Today, I'm playing a little sample of it from a song about the androids. He's made 3 different songs about the androids because, well, as we talked about last week, androids come in different flavors, and this is the standard one. Let's see. And there's another comment. Oh, okay, yeah. You were saying you can hear it. Yeah, I'm standing here by my air conditioner, and or I will die, and so I had to. And I
broke. Sorry, B. No. Here we go again. Go on, finish up.
You're good. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when it comes to the Android thing, I broke it down into 3 songs because they have 3 major subcultures that we cover in the books. I realised that one song was not going to be able to cover the detail of each of these ones. So you've got this one, which is the standard sort of bit of synthwave, classic style for the standard ones. We mentioned the psychos, the ones who basically take all that BTS to try and disconnect themselves from the CompuCore, and they start doing questionable things when they do that. So that starts off with this sort of synthwave one, descends very much into a more dissonant sound. And then, of course, we've got the modders who turn themselves into Cenobite wannabes, who think they're artists, and they're all quite snobbish about it to each other. Oh my. Gold inlay, really? That was so last generation. And but then their song then moves into that sort of darker tone as well. They've all got this lovely synthwave undertone because I'm trying to keep the link to them all being androids together. Hopefully, when I put all 3 chapters up, there'll be that. It'll feel like they're all linked.
Yeah, they're the modders are artists in the same way that in the Vampire the Masquerade, the Jamisi see themselves as artists with their fleshcraft ability. If you don't, for those of y'all who are unfamiliar with Vampire the Masquerade, the Jamisi are a clan of vampires that they're basically similar to like actual Dracula. But one thing that they like to do is they can mess with the very element of flesh. To the point where they can turn people into furniture, like literally. But they'll do things.
Drukhari.
Huh?
It's what the old Dark Eldar do in 40k.
Yeah, they're basically the dark Eldar of vampires, except they don't take like pleasure and pain to the extreme. They just take crafting the body to the extreme.
Well, the Dark Eldar do it A because they love it, but also B because otherwise they will die without it. Because where the original Eldar, they shun it all now and they back away from it. The ones that stayed that way can only survive by feeding on others' pain. Yeah, so they've turned into a right bunch of wrong-uns,
Yeah, they're so connected to Slaanesh that they need what she needs.
Not even Slaanesh. It's just they are so far gone. It's actually to stop them from being consumed by Slanesh that they do what they do.
Yeah, you know, Dark Eldar are about to capture you. The best thing you can do is kill yourself. I know that. It's actually better than the alternative.
They want to kill you because they need to feed on your pain.
Right. They don't want to. Yeah, they won't kill you. But the thing is, like, yeah, if a soldier's about to be captured by Dark Eldar, if they have the opportunity to kill themselves, is what they'll do, rather than get captured by Dark Eldar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't, Finn. I'm not familiar with it, mate.
And I've never heard of that. Well, actually, that sounds familiar, but I don't know about that one. Space King Terry, huh?
No, I am the Space King, but I think he means the show is called Space King, not Space King Terry. I'm Terry.
Oh, well, no.
There's just no comma, Brandon.
Oh, it's a series, a web series. Hang on, independent web series, animated, created by Flash Kids.
Is that the one where they're basically the angry Space Marines, where their helmets are just giant angry faces?
Yeah, because I'm looking at a wiki of it, and I'm seeing the look of one of the Space Marines, and it has this big grimace on his face. Makes me think of the Juggernaut, but in blue.
Finn, I worked out. Don't worry about Brandon and his low grasp of grammar.
Embrace the comma.
I knew what you meant. That's what's important. He seems to think there's a show called Space King Terry, and I thought, oh yeah, I mean that would be great, wouldn't it?
Well, no,
I am the Space King, but I knew what you were talking about.
There's a difference.
Don't you feel guilty because Brandon couldn't work out a comma?
There's a difference between have you been eating grandma and have you been eating comma grandma. But yeah, I was just looking it up. It looks like
I think I know what you mean because I've seen the little snippets. They usually pop them in the Instagram feed.
Is it something similar to the Chaotic Neutral Barbarian animated series?
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen I have actually seen the little snippets of those, so I do know what you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend and I actually sat there and watched the entire first season of the Chaotic Neutral Barbarian all the way through. I didn't know there were so many. I had seen about like 5 or 6 episodes, but I had not seen every single one of them, and I just threw me. Especially his friend, the Paladin, because he looks like a complete wiener, but he is like a total badass, and ironically, what all the vows the unicorn made him even more of a badass.
This shows you how much my face got burnt, doesn't it?
Put that
Next to my arms.
Put that away. You're blinding me.
I know the beacons are lit.
Gondor calls for aid.
That's why I don't wear shorts. Yeah. These old pasty calves.
I don't wear shorts because they're just ashy. I don't know if you ever used to watch Dave Chappelle's show. You ever Ashy Larry?
No. That sounds like something specifically American.
He blows on the dice and dust comes out. I'm like, oh wow. Oh man.
No, Finn. No. AC was not an invention here in Britain until climate change, because, we were cold, so we built our houses to keep the heat in. And as a result, it got hot, and now our houses are ovens.
Whereas we in Louisiana were smart, because
you in Louisiana were hot, so of course you had AC. It's nothing to do with being smart.
Well, before we had AC, houses were built in a certain way that allowed maximum circulation of air, so they wouldn't get quite so hot. And because this is as a matter of fact, this house is a very old house, and it was built before air conditioning, because we don't have central air conditioning. I have these little window units, and so but what they had was an attic fan. because they still have it because there's a little switch right by my bathroom, and sometimes I accidentally hit it, and the whole house starts going. I had to turn the thing off because it doesn't really work anymore. But it was an attic fan, and they were like, there's little slots in every room of the house, which allowed like air to circulate from the attic down. So the attic, I guess, wouldn't get so hot when they had the attic fan on constantly, and it circulated air throughout the house in the summertime. And also, we had a huge oak tree that used to be right there, and I guess the branches would go over the house. So, in the summertime, it wouldn't get quite so hot.
Didn't that get taken down in a hurricane?
Yeah, it died before the hurricane. The hurricane just finished the job. And that was one of the things I was really worried about because when I thought it was going to fall this way, thankfully it fell the other way.
Wow. What was that? Was that 2019?
No, the hurricane was 2020 actually.
2020. I remember being at work. I say that because it's before they let us work from home, and I was looking at the projected path of the hurricane. I was well worried about it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I had evacuated we just went to Lafayette because I knew it wasn't going to hit Lafayette head on. It was just going to get sideswiped. And so I went to Lafayette, stayed at I wanted to stay at my friend's place, but he was going to someone's house, so he paid for me to stay at a hotel. And so I was staying at a little cheap hotel and watching the news, and the news suddenly went out. Found out later on that the hurricane destroyed the transmission tower at KPLC. And that thing is like massive. So, and it was just really, really bad. The hurricane was a Cat 5. It came in Lake Charles, my hometown, was right in the way of the eye. I mean, the eye went straight through the city, both sides of the eye wall. Yeah. And that's the most powerful parts of the hurricane. Mm-hmm. So it practically ripped the city off the map almost. Because what you had after that damage was unbelievable. When I came back, my parents.
I remember you sent me the photos of it.
Yeah, my parents when they evacuated, they went to Ruston. To this day, I have no idea why Dad decided to go to Ruston. He could have gone to freaking east and Ruston's to the north. So I'm like, why would you go in the way of the hurricane? He's like, well, it's not going to be as strong inland. I'm like, yeah, but you're still getting hit by the hurricane. I would have gone to like Baton Rouge or something. Anyway, so yeah, he they're all the way up in Ruston. That's like I think 2-hour drive, and so they were like, yeah, well, you're closer, Brandon. Go back to Lake Charles and see if everything's still standing. So I drive back to Lake Charles, and it broke my heart to see how much devastation there was. I mean, I was riding around down power line. There was not a single standing power line in the city. Everything had got knocked down. There houses that looked like the hand of God. It just ripped them in half. I don't think there were very, very few buildings that weren't damaged in some form or fashion. It was really, really bad. I went to my house first. I thought I couldn't get into the neighborhood because there were so many down trees, but I found that there was like kind of a narrow path to the road, and so I went to my house. Thank God it was still standing. However, there was in the other room over there was a hole in the roof, and that was where I had my books. That was where I had my bookshelf. My bookshelf's right here now. It was in the other room then, and most of my not most of them, many of my books were.
Brandon sent me the photos at the time, and just the hole in the roof, the damage. I did feel for you. I really did feel for you.
I still got the video on YouTube where I'm like looking through all the stuff, especially with my books, and that made me want to cry because those were books I collected over many, many years. A few of them, the ones I had to throw away, are some that I couldn't even get anymore. One of them was this catalog of the alien races from David Brin's Uplift universe, and I wanted to get that book again. I looked it up; it was mostly out of print, and it was out of print everywhere. And the cheapest copy I could get was $200. So I was just like, oh no, yeah. So God only knows. Oh, my entire Harry Potter collection was.
Yeah, but that's no bad thing. They're always re-releasing that.
Well, the problem was I sat in line at the bookstores for like from the Order of the Phoenix on out. Every Harry Potter party went to the bookstore and went and got those copies. So they had had a lot of sentimental value, and I had to throw those away. I wanted to cry. My sister, fortunately, that year got me the entire set again for Christmas. God bless her. But yeah, so I'd thrown away. It was a lot of books though I had to throw away. I was really, really upset about that. I had a couple of the Dinotopia books. Those were some of my favorite ones, and I had to throw those away. I still have to get those back, but those at least are still in print. Because I do have books that are actually worth a lot of money. One of my friends, as a matter of fact, just going a little off topic, gave me a book before he.
Were we ever on topic?
He gave me a book before he left to move to Canada, and it was a book of like the artwork by this dude named Elmore, who did a lot of the artwork for Dungeons and Dragons and other like book art. And it not only was that a book by Elmore's art, it was signed by him, was autographed by him. And I looked up that book online, and it's long out of print. And the only copies, the cheapest ones I see, are around $300. I was like, whoa. I told my friend before he left, I was like, are you sure you want to give me this book? I told him how much it was worth. He's like, yeah, it's cool. He couldn't take it with him. I was like, okay, cool, thank you. So, yeah, so I have a lot of books that I've been collecting over the years that are worth a lot of money. That hurricane just wiped some of them out. And
yeah.
Oh God, man, that broke my heart. I managed to get some back, but not all of them. I had the entire Aragon collection, the Inheritance series. I still haven't gotten that one back. I have another book series called The Entire and the Rose, and I managed to get those back, fortunately, because the very first book was out of print, and I managed to get like an old library copy, which was still in excellent condition. So, yeah, I had a lot of books that I really that I lost. That was the worst thing with me. My parents' house more or less survived. Though it did have like damage to the inner walls. That they had to go get the house fixed later on. So my parents had moved in with me temporarily while they were getting their house fixed. And also the garage door got damaged. I locked my car in the garage for a few weeks before we could get that thing fixed. And it was like every single roof tile in the neighborhood got blown into their yard. So I had to help my dad pick all that up. That was backbreaking labor right there. It was so tedious. And we were doing that for days. Every day we go out there, pick up some more roof tile fragments. Go out there again, pick up more roof tile fragments.
F in the chat for your book collection.
F in the chat for my book collection. What?
You may have to elaborate on that one, Finn. We're a bit too old for some references.
Yeah, I know. No, I never heard of that.
We might have embraced a bit of this technology thing, but we're still lost on some of the street terms, innit? Because we ain't all down with the kids, like.
We ain't all about that.
You know what I'm saying, blood?
Don't know them kids talking about that's in the 6-7s and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yo, in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're not all
pay respect. Oh, okay.
Because we're not all down with the lingo,
Yeah, you see that one I never heard. That one I never heard of. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's like pouring one out for your dead homies, but the F in the chat I had never heard of. I just I would just wrote R.I.P. for my books, So I made a video. I made a video of it on YouTube because I had two of those books. I called them the Bookopolis. The first time was when my parents had found like a lot of books in my collection when I moved to Lafayette the second time, and I knew that I had a huge box of books, and it was like, I'm missing books. I had a big box of them. My dad did not know what I was talking about, and he even got kind of upset when I brought it up. And and then like later on, my dad calls me like, Brandon, we we actually found the books. Your aunt had left because they put them in a storage unit. My aunt had. Your aunt had accidentally left them in the storage unit, and yeah, so yeah, you can come and get them. You know, I got the box, brought it back to my apartment, and the thing is, like the box had suffered some water damage, and so some of my books got warped and messed up. So I'm pulling out books that are all weirdly bent, and I had to kind of press them in my bookshelf to put them back in shape. So I made a video about it called Bookopolis. But when the hurricane hit, I made a second one showing all the damage and called it Bookopolis 2020. Yeah. The tragedies of being a book goblin. Well, okay, I'm not as much of a book goblin as I am with other things, but yeah, I am a slight book goblin. It's really funny that this author on YouTube, she talks about the books that she writes and books that she collects, and she does these little skits about her and she plays this little creature called the Book Goblin. It's really hilarious. Hey, Bookie's book, Book Goblin. It's unfortunate that we didn't have, I was trying to invite some other folks today, by the way, everybody. And we'll, you know, I think Michael's probably got some things to do, and well, it's kind of like his case every time, you know, so he can't be here always, and that's okay, you know. We're the guys to listen to, but we're gonna be completely Greek about it. With
Bibliopolius.
Okay. Oh, you like Vesuvius? Yeah. Well, that's Roman, not Greek. But yeah.
Maybe he's referring to something else, and maybe he's not referring to Vesuvius.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's all Greek to me.
Aha! Wasted there. Maybe you should consider a different career.
But what I was saying is that what I was saying is that, you know,
it's very rare that I've met someone that reached their true potential.
Wait, what?
It's a subtle British insult.
Yeah, but I didn't hear what you said.
I said it's very rare that I meet someone that's actually reached their true potential.
Oh, ha. Oh, yeah, okay. I recognize that reference, dude. I am the glub. You know that? Yeah, I know about that. I forget what movie that's from, but yeah, I know about that one. That creature that loves books. Yeah.
my other favourite one is why don't you take the day off? I actually want to get this job finished today.
Well, anyway, as I was saying, was that I was hoping to have another one of our friends on. That was Vic, but he's unable to make it because we were discussing some of the and this is like letting y'all guys into, for those of y'all coming in after the fact. We've been working on various small commercial bits for Wild Space Saga, and we did a couple of them. One involving Xerxes, and the other involving Alexa.
That hasn't actually been posted yet. The Alexa one, I didn't get around to it, but
I posted the Alexa one on my X account.
I haven't put it on the YouTube yet. That was all.
Yeah, but that's the only place I posted.
No, I was just letting you know it's not on YouTube yet, so some people may not have seen
it. I say I give you something and you don't post it. I give you another thing and you don't post it.
Yeah, well, you know, some of us work for a living.
Yeah. Hey, what do you mean? So some of us do.
No, I mean, considering I've been out of work for the last 10 months, that's a bit of a rich thing to say. That was the point. But it's just because the job I do, the new shift pattern and everything like that, means some of my opportunities to post have become a bit more limited.
I think the job you have is very similar to an old job I had, where I cared for people with disabilities, did home care for people with disabilities, and the way that my work schedule was, like, I work 1 week, be off the next, work 1 week, be off the next. So, yeah, that's how.
It's just because, well, one of them is very active. That I go and support. And so I'm out from the about 10 minutes after I arrive at the house. We're out and off down the bus stop, and then we spend the next 4 hours in one of the local towns.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come back, and it's like, then I go home and I go, oh God, I'm tired. I'll get used to it eventually, but yeah, he's wonderfully active. He's like a machine. He could go for hours. I actually have to say to him, look, I need 5 minutes, mate. I need to stop for a moment and get a breathe. Otherwise, he'll go forever.
The guy who I was working with was he was active, but not that active. But yeah, he'd like to go out and do things, so I had to go with him, and it was actually pretty cool. Yeah, he was actually.
He's absolutely lovely, because as long as you explain to him, look, I need to stop for this long. He won't, he'll just wait, and they'll go, oh, it's been 5 minutes. Can we carry on now? Yes, yeah. I said 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. Let's go. And I agreed to that, so I can't really complain.
The guy who I worked with, he was actually pretty much could function mostly on his own. The only thing is because he had some disabilities, which gave him some impulse control problems, and so he had to kind of be careful about remind him about his behavior. Yeah, when he would go out with his girlfriend, he had a habit to do some ungentlemanly things, so you had to kind of make sure he didn't do those things, especially in public. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Otherwise he was lovely guy. So, but anyway, the what I was trying to say.
I'm not familiar with Wendigoon, so.
That sounds familiar, but I don't remember. The internet has so many memes, and though my on Facebook my currency is dank memes, I don't know them all. That's the beauty of the memes; it gives them their value. You always find something new. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that
you brighten up every room you leave.
Oh, okay, a YouTuber. Never mind. Okay, it wasn't a meme. But like I said, he does sound familiar. I just probably don't follow him. Actually, I know I don't follow him. What I'm saying is that when it comes to doing AI and whatnot, I was going to bring in one of the folks that we've had on our show, and that was Vic, because I was in a discussion with him about using our AI commercials, because we got kind of a little bit deep into the discussion. I was like, hold that thought. Let's do this when we're on the show. But I tried, calling him up last night, and I guess he's one of those guys that doesn't exactly pay much attention to his instant messenger, and so he didn't get hold of me until early this morning. And while I was half asleep, looking at my phone to make sure I wasn't about to sleep through the show, and realizing I could get about 5 or 10 more minutes. So yeah,
I had to sleep before the show today. It's been a busy one.
Don't think I'm going to be able to make it, but just in case, send me the link. And I'm like, even though I had my computer right on my nightstand, I was like, I will do that later. So back to sleep. And so when I finally wake up and it's time to get ready to go, I went on ahead and sent him the thing right before then, but I don't think he's going to make it, unfortunately. But hopefully next time he'll be able to make it. I'll see if I can. We
do approach. Usually sort of touch on AI nearly every sort of stream.
Yeah, but I wanted to make the major topic of today doing that, but I really don't want to do that without Vic.
I would discuss some points while I'm here, because it seems like a lot of you, those who do interact with us or at least even watch our stuff, seem to be not as bothered as some. I have to speak out a little bit, as our publisher sends us a newsletter every week, and they're really a downer on using generative AI for certain things. They reckon people actively walk away from us for using it.
No, it's not you.
You didn't do anything, Finn. You don't need to apologise for anything. This is also how we operate. We end up going off on tangents anyway. But I want to bring this up because it's something that really kind of gets my goat, as it were. But and it is that they reckon people will actively walk away from our content, will not engage with our content, just because we've used generative AI for things. Now, I'm a person who this stuff exists. No matter how much you try to ignore it, walk away from it, not use it, it's not going away. Right? So rather than, I'm a caveman with many things, many technologies, memes, things like that. I don't hold necessarily an interest or an ability to cope with a lot of it. I struggle to maintain the Instagram, for God's sake, So, but Brandon deals with more social media than I do, because I find dealing with the YouTube and the Instagram more than I can deal with. But at the same time, and I keep mentioning this every week, I've had songs in my head for 20 years. The 20 years we developed this, I've had ideas for this.
There's a cream for that.
Very funny. There's a cream for your face, but, you refuse to use it. But I can't afford to hire a band. I can't write music. I can't hire a studio or a production team to create these songs. I now have an app that I can describe what I want it to do, and it creates something that very near matches the vision in my mind, and it does it within moments. And believe it or not, what you hear, I've gone through many iterations to get the sound. So whilst I won't sit here and claim I'm a musician, because I'm not. I've written the words. I've used a bit of help to structure it so that it fits together properly. And then I've got a program to make it into the song, to create and visualize and share with you all this sound that's been rolling around in my brain for all this time. And I'll publish saying, no, you shouldn't do that. People will walk away. I'm sorry, no. This is the future. If you choose, it's like, as I said before, it was like the Luddites putting the plugs on the steam-powered machines. It made no difference in the end. Those steam machines came in and took over anyway. Well, this stuff is here. It's not going anywhere. The bubble may burst and it may reduce, but it'll never be completely gone. So why shouldn't we embrace it now?
Yep. And that's my sentiment exactly. I mean, if you can, for me, I like to limit it because I also just love to draw, and I still love to share my talent with other people. And everyone is going to appreciate actual human-made art
and
art, in day of the week.
I will say this now. Sorry, B. Obviously, I've got very much a passion about this. I have no issue with real artists creating real art for book covers, for album cover art, things like that. Yeah, absolutely. People's creativity, people's talents should be respected. Yeah, go for it, Finn. I'm just monologuing while you're putting the question out there. But to create what we have, we've brought some of our characters to life thanks to generative AI. We've trained it on our own artwork. For starters, we've fed ChatGPT and Grok and that our artwork, not other people's, ours. And we create the videos based on our artwork. So we fed it and trained it with our stuff, not other people's. And when you've got your character in front of you, speaking, moving, interacting, okay, it's not always perfect. Sometimes it's a bit clunky. But to be able to do that
at all,
yeah, and not break the bank, not have to have the best animation tools out there, just to have something, a 10-second clip, even of Pip going, hey, check out the latest video or check out the latest song. It's just so much fun, and it's so, I don't know how it was. It sort of strikes a chord in my heart to see my character saying to you guys, yeah, check it out, enjoy it. My characters come to life in a way that I could never do.
What would you do if you met a felony woman? Okay. Okay. Terry's not into that like I am, dude. That's kind of a me thing for him.
I mean, come on. I run a Death Watch unit in 40k. And if you're not familiar with the Death Watch, they're the anti-Xenos specialists. They're the alien killers.
Then you would love those animated shorts with the Ultramarines versus the furries. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yeah, I've seen them. No, it's one of those ones where it's a personal thing. I would probably stick with humans just because that's me. I've got, mind you,
he and I have made
Ankyus are the most human looking, so I would, I would probably tap that, if you're on a late night.
The Ankyus ones, yeah, they actually look human, except they just have
on a late night without much success. You got to get home, notch the headboard. It's like, yeah, you give me a packet of crisps and promise to call me in the morning.
Just so you know, they do purr and growl in bed. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I'm more on the side of Alexa. Give me some scales and some claws.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Alexa, that was the most recent ad thing that we did for.
I'll get it posted after the stream,
and that is the one that I love the most. Now, if you want to see it, go, follow us on our X account. And that's Wildspace Saga, all one word. And you should,
Brandon, if they want to see it, I will post it after the stream. I did just say that.
Well, yeah, that too. I'm just saying is that if you want to see
our X, we need more viewers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well no, we need more viewers for this account too.
Everything. Make our channels grow.
I'm saying is I have them both on our X account as well. We have the one that we did with Xerx, and I also have the one we did with Alexa. And I'm really proud of the job that I did with Alexa. It looks gorgeous, and Alexa just totally comes off as absolute sexy.
The only shame is because of the way Alexa talks, we had to be a bit more creative. I said to Brandon, just remember, these books also feature this sexy bitch. And they wouldn't like it, so we had to find a way around it. But that's the way she even refers to herself that way, because she
I just wanted to keep the ads PG, So
yeah, no, but it's like this sexy bitch has saved the galaxy twice.
I think the next one I want to do is probably something with Pip. So I guess we'll have to discuss how we want to put that because it's going to be silly.
But again. Back to my point about generative AI is we can discuss these little ideas that we would never have been able to do before. I've got one where I said we need Pip's giving all her thing to the camera, and Maria will reach in and pick her up and say, "Come on, it's time to wash the dishes." With her going, "But I wasn't finished." But again, we have to try and work around the limitations of AI to create that one. But it's sort of one of the ideas is. We're going to even do outtakes with it where they fluff their lines a bit,
Yeah, now we have to also work in the limits of. I use Grok for animating. I mean, I could probably find a better. I think there are some better AI programs where you can do something a little bit more.
The trouble is, we can only subscribe to so many before it gets prohibitive.
Well, with Grok, they only give you about a maximum of 30 seconds, and you're given points, so it eats up your points if you do it too many times.
Suno does the same.
Yeah, and so you have a maximum of about 30 seconds for your video, and with the one that I did with Xerx, I went over the 30 seconds, so I had to I did it really clever. I got it all the way to the end of the first 30 seconds, and I screen capped that. Took that picture out of the screen cap, enlarged it, used that as a starting point. And put in the rest of the prompt for that last bit, and it worked. I was actually shocked about that. Even though the video looks like it has a tiny little jump cut, it still works really well. So I was actually happy with how that turned out. But oh man, but the reason why I was hoping that Vic would have been able to come on today, and he'll hopefully be here next week, is because. When I shared the one that I did with Xerx, one of my friends was kind of having some critiques of it, but the critiques came from the point of view of somebody who was not familiar with what goes into actually putting together an AI clip. Because I asked him, I was like, "Have you ever made anything using AI before?" And he had to admit that he hadn't. So I was like,
that's the thing. I mean, people think it comes out perfectly every time with just a prompt, and it's sort of like there is some work involved. Like I said, I won't ever say that the actual program hasn't done the heavy lifting, but you do need to go through a lot of work to refine it to get your vision correct, rather than go, well, that's good enough.
some AI programs are really weird things. Some things they'll hit the nail on the head with. Other things you're like, why is it even doing that when the instructions I gave were so straightforward? And like I said, it's like trying to it's like trying to explain quantum physics to a toddler. So
I mean, some of the generated images I'll share on the posts here on YouTube and on the Instagram and stuff like that, and that we've shared previously on previous things. It's like the hard work is more the iterations that you go through to get to what you want, and train the actual program to understand the vision you're trying to create. I mean, I've got it quite consistent on ChatGPT now. That I have a library of the characters now, and all I have to do is drop a reference image in, and it'll recreate it fairly accurately. But it did take a lot to get there. I mean, that said, though, again, I will not call myself an AI artist. It's still GPT doing the hard work. I'm just working hard, telling it what I want, so that it produces what I want.
Now, what's really fun about this is that for the times where you have where the program hiccups or works on something, or it can often be so many that you could make the best blooper reels ever with just the prompts that go wrong. And there's a guy I follow on YouTube. He's a Christian apologist, but he does things using animation, and he just started using AI for his animations now. And he oftentimes shows at the end of his videos the times where it kind of goes wonky, and it's so funny. So yeah, I think maybe one day what I might do is make a blooper reel.
Excuse me, sorry guys. Just down the camera there.
Just to show when the AI starts its head starts spinning and flying off its head, you know. By the way, in answer to your question, well, it's not even so much a question. I've never really watched Smiling Friends. I know about it, and I've seen people make memes out of it, like the post nerve ending thing. But the only thing I think that would work with Smiling Friends is if maybe Pip was going in some sort of a virtual world, that she was looking at, cartoons that were popular or on Earth, a long time ago, and she finds herself in a world of the Smiling Friends, and she's like, what drugs did someone use to make this? Or something like that. That would probably be pretty funny. But yeah, that's kind of. As a matter of fact, I might actually do something like that. But I don't know if I'd be very good at drawing Smiling Friends, because the art style for that just makes me think of a little bit of Ren and Stimpy, where you go like, it looks cute from a distance, and then close up it looks utterly hideous. So
Funny, just going back to our discussion about generative AI, I would like to hear people's opinions on it, because obviously we use it now quite a bit. Our publishers reckon that we shouldn't, but I would rather know because people clearly do follow us here. They clearly do watch after the facts. People rarely comment, but I would like people to, because I would like to understand what you actually think of this. And because at the end of the day, I'm producing these lore songs. I'm creating the title cards with it and everything like that. So you've got a little image. But is it putting you off? Do you think that we don't? We're lesser writers because we use it? Or does it not bother you? Are you not interested even? I would love to know just sort of how people feel about it, because I don't know. It's just, to me, I'm embracing something that is inevitable. It's like Thanos.
That's the I mean, you really hit the nail on the head there. We really would like, for people, commenting is the highest level of engagement, and that's really one of the reasons why you see comments are almost always, you get tons of engagement, but the ratio of that to comments is always very low.
Likes will boost the visibility of the video, whatever video it is. So obviously we always want people to like the content.
But when you comment on something, for us, it really does show that you're engaging with us.
It will help me understand the focus, because obviously the reason I actually pour these out so quickly is because I've had a lot of this prepared in my mind for a very, very long time. So I'm not suddenly whipping up a song, through ChatGPT and then bunging it in Suno. I've had the words themselves sitting in my brain with a rough idea what to do. Yes, I would admit I use GPT to help me structure it, because I'm not good at structuring songs and things. Brandon tells me off for never indenting my paragraphs when I write. When I write, it's a stream of consciousness. He's lucky if I split it up into paragraphs in the first place, right?
I just want indentation, man.
Right, but I was also never taught to bloody indent my paragraphs at school.
Well, that was something that was hammered into our heads over and over again in school.
Right, that was never something taught to me. So when I write. Brandon has to restructure all of it. So to save him doing that with the songs, I get GPT to restructure it all for me, so the verses make sense, the chorus feels right, and the flow is correct. Right. So yes, I do use generative AI there. The words are always mine, however. Now, I'm not a musician, though, because Suno does that. But I'm learning now how to describe things on the Suno prompt to get this sound. So it nearly all these songs now come out matching what was in my head. Before it was a bit random, going, wow, this is cool. This is kind of... Now I'm able to kind of fit the vision with it. So what you're hearing is... Yes, AI has been used to create it, but it also is kind of actually what's in my mind. And I don't know if that makes a difference to people or not, or if, and I'd just like to know people's opinions of it. I really would. I would really love the feedback in the comments.
We both
to say, this is what we think, whether I should continue with it, whether I should post less of it, more of it, or just post maybe less often, because I try and do these when I do them. I try and post one a day to follow the sequence.
Yeah, we both would love that. I mean,
it's been a bit slower posting this week just because of my shift pattern, so which meant I didn't post one night, so there was a break of a couple of days between part 2 and 3, which I ended up calling part 3 part 4 by accident because my brain was frazzled.
What we're saying long and short of it is we'd love to hear your feedback, guys. If there's something about the show that you're finding boring or you would love for us to add that might make it a bit more engaging, that we might be able to do.
I mean, if you want me to slap Brandon in real time, I'm sure we can try and arrange it.
Yeah, and then something like that. Well, I know we got like 2 more minutes, guys, but I think that does leave us enough time to go ahead and wrap things up, because I'm going to have to head on out really, really fast after this thing is done. So thank you very much for checking us out, guys. If you've gotten all the way to the end, we hope that you will comment, rate, subscribe. All we ask is to keep it civil.
So,
all our links to the social medias are down in the doobly-doo, plus the links to our books. We did fix that link, by the way, like we said last week.
The book link, yeah.
You can check out our books. Check out the stuff that we post on X. Check out the stuff we post on Facebook, on Instagram. Even going to try to build our Facebook up. Well, I already said Facebook. So, all that good stuff.
Androids Chapter 2 and 3 will be up over the weekend as well. So what we've had in the background was Chapter 1. It's all part of Faction Focus Volume 2. It's just I really couldn't encompass Android culture within one song.
And of course, our DeviantArt page has been there for ages, and we always post new.
14 years.
Concept art that is our own stuff, not AI made. So check that out. Come and visit, give us comments. All that good stuff if you want.
Yeah, the DeviantArt page is 14 years old now.
Yep. And so, we're grateful to have those folks who've been with us for that entire time. And hey, you want to join us? Come join us. It's great over there.
And it wasn't called Wild Space Saga, but originally, but Wild Space Saga is 20 years old this year. Our project, we really moved forward with it in the last 5 years.
And so, thanks, and also, like, if you get our books in, we ask if you leave a review, even if you didn't like it. We really do great feedback. And so I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today, guys. Thank you very much for joining us.
He's desperate to get out today, you see, so that's why I'm delaying him slightly.
And so we're here every Saturday at 3 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. 9 p.m. GMT for our friends across the pond. And so
9 p.m. BST currently. We're in British summertime. GMT's after October.
Oh, okay. Well. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you come back, join us again on the Northwest Passage. And so until next time, guys, this is Brandon Hill and Terry out. Me makes this.
Snip, snip. Vulcan scissors. Snip, snip.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.